Right now, Aurora police are looking for a driver who hit a woman and then drove away. The crash happened just before 9 o'clock last night on Chambers Road near Hinckley High School. A driver in an older white pickup hit a woman who was walking and then took off north on Chambers. The woman does have life-threatening injuries. Anyone who saw the crash or might have dash cam video should call Crime Stoppers. A Denver murder case is in the hands of the jury. Michael Close is accused of killing a woman and hurting a man while they were walking their dog in Denver's Ballpark neighborhood. 9
News reporter Darius Johnson joins us live from Denver District Court again. And Darius, the trial, it went really fast. Just started earlier this week.
Hey there, Gary and Corey. Good morning to you both. Yes, that trial began on Monday. It was a 2-day trial, and I can tell you that there were 2 hours of deliberations just yesterday by the jury. Once they returned this morning at 9 a.m., they could reach a verdict for Michael Close. Now, during that 2-day trial, prosecutors described Close's actions the day of June 10, 2020 as rage-motivated. They emphasized that many times during closing arguments just yesterday. 2 years ago, prosecutors say Close became enraged while Darian Simon and his girlfriend, Isabella Thallis, were trying to get their dog to go to the bathroom while outside his apartment in the Ballpark neighborhood. First, by yelling out the window before he went to another room and grabbed an AK-47 and fired it 24 times. While Close's lawyers did not dispute the basic facts of the case, they did argue that he suffered a mental break and he didn't exactly know what he was doing when he opened fire. Now, Close is charged with first-degree murder as well as attempted murder. If he is convicted, he could face life in prison without the possibility of a parole, Gary.
We'll see if we get a verdict today. Thank you for the update. We expect to get a better picture of the night the train crashed into a patrol car in northern Colorado and injured a woman who was locked in that car. Police in Fort Lupton say they will release the body cam video later today. The woman was originally pulled over for an alleged road rage incident. Fort Lupton police are still investigating and say that they have applied for an arrest warrant. The woman's attorney says that she has 9 broken ribs, a broken arm, and other injuries to her back and sternum.
Happening today, classes will be back on at Adams City High School. It was closed yesterday because of social media threats. Commerce City Police investigated and found that they were fake. Denver Public Libraries will also reopen today after threats. All branches closed Wednesday as a precaution. Police in Denver determined that the threat came from out of state. Other libraries in other states received similar threats. These are just a few of the threats that have happened just in the past week. You might remember on Monday, several schools were dealing with prank and swatting calls.
Safe to Tell has seen a 207% increase in calls since the school year started. Now, Safe to Tell is an anonymous platform where anyone can report threats to students. In August, Safe to Tell received about 1,071 reports. That's a 207% increase from the July before school started. Out of those reports, the Attorney General's office that runs the line says that 2.6% were false reports.
We need students to take seriously any signs of real threats. And if you have something that is a false threat, please don't spread it. Don't play along with it. It's serious business.
Spreading a fake or a prank threat can result in local or even federal charges for the person that does that. Weiser says it is likely reports will increase as school goes on this month. Well, Denver could be sued again for how the city is clearing out homeless camps. A new complaint says the city is not giving enough warning and that the workers are harassing people who are experiencing homelessness. Lawyers for homeless advocates sent a letter to the mayor in Denver about violations to the city's settlement on sweeps. That settlement said the city has to give at least 7 days warning before clearing an encampment. The letter says in the past 6 months, there have been 12 sweeps without enough notice. In some cases, they say people got a 5-minute warning. The letter also lists 17 times when lawyers say the city trashed someone's property instead of putting it in storage as agreed to. 3 people couldn't get their belongings back from storage. The letter accuses city workers and contractors of assaulting and threatening people who are experiencing homelessness.
World Alzheimer's Month is now wrapping up, and this morning we have an update on the walk to end Alzheimer's in Denver, one of the ways the Alzheimer's Association raises money to help thousands of families. According to their website, more than 2,500 people participated. That is huge, raising more than $705,000. That puts them in the 5th spot nationwide for fundraising this year, and there's still work to be done. You can donate anytime to the Colorado chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, and there's also still walks happening next weekend in Boulder, Greeley, and Colorado Springs.
That walk has become such a big deal over the years.
Yeah, that's huge.
I remember one maybe 10 years ago, and there frankly weren't that many people, and now they're just gigantic.
Yeah, and recently I did a story on the Macy family. They were out there. They had a walk with their whole family as well. Just incredible stories that came out of the walk to end Alzheimer's, and that money is so needed because there's no cure. They're trying to figure out prevention methods, but really the caretaking for someone who has Alzheimer's dementia, the costs are astronomical.
Yep. And I think people go out there and they think, I'm going to give money to this cause because I want them to figure it out before I get in that situation.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, $705,000. Pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah.
That is terrific. Hey, Broncos are back at Empower Field this weekend for some primetime football Sunday night. Russell Wilson was on Red Zone last night. He admitted that the team hasn't played very well, especially when it comes to the red zone and scoring touchdowns. He says it's because of mistakes and that will be fixed. We will see if that happens. The Broncos take on the 49ers. Kickoff is 6:20 Sunday night. Again, it is here on Channel 9.